What's up, family and friends? Good morning and welcome to this beautiful day. Also to this live broadcast. And I encourage you to feel free to share with me and share with us. Let us join hands together to seek and spread knowledge because that's very important. Remember what I said? Knowledge is the greatest. And the knowledge of yourself is the greatest knowledge you can ever have. So, and I encourage you to have it. I want to play a clip from Nnamdi Kanu before, as I really go into what I want to share with us. So I titled this "The Sins of Our Fathers." It's supposed to be the sins of our ancestors, but the reason I put the sins of our fathers, I want also to mention how about the sins of our mothers? Because most of us, we have bought into that European mindset, European idea of fathers, leaving the fathers behind, God, leaving the goddess behind. Supposed to be fathers and mothers. Like we're fond of saying forefathers. We don't say foremothers. We're supposed to be saying forefathers and foremothers, just as both of them are our what? Ancestors. The fathers are not the only ones that brought us forth. It is our fathers and our mothers that brought us forth. Many of us has been indoctrinated, brainwashed that we don't know the true thing that our ancestors held dearly. So we go with the flow that our oppressors, our invaders, our enslavers, our slave masters, what they tell us, we go with that flow. No, we are putting things in order. They destroy our foundation with their foreign institutions, but we are bound to restore and rebuild our foundation. We're gonna restore our power and rebuild our foundation. That means recovering our heritage. The sins of our fathers. What inspired me to share this is still what I heard from Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of IPOB. Remember what I said when I was going to work, that I support everyone that is talking or doing anything about Biafra, and I'm against anyone that is talking or doing anything against Biafra. The bite of Biafra. Biafra existed before Nigeria. You can look at the world map they gave you. You can find that bite of Biafra. You can Google it, search to know the truth. Okay, and I'm happy that our people are waking up. Of course, some Africans are waking up. And what I will encourage Africans to do, stop listening to African historians. Stop listening to Africans, educated Africans who are educated in Western institutions, who are anointed in Western institutions, who are ordained in Western institutions. They will never tell you the truth about Africa. They will be telling you the same thing they were programmed to say. So you have to listen to our African historians. Check YouTube. Start with like people like Ben, Joseph Ben Yakaman or Clark. There are many of them that champion and keep speaking about African stuff. That's the people you're supposed to be listening to. People that studied beyond their university education or whatever they taught them in those institutions. People that went physically and dig deeper than those foreign, historians. That's the people you're supposed to be listening to. You're supposed to be listening to the John Clark, Ben Jokanan. Some of the Google, if you can get one of them, then you Google. Although like John Clark, he believe in God, but he says it's not a person or whatever you call it, but he don't believe God is a person. Then, but Ben is the one that I love most. Like if you check my profile picture, that's the man I put there. I love that man. I love everything that man taught. That is one of my ancestors I am proud of, and I don't play with his words. That's where you will learn the main truth about Africans. He's the professor teaching Egyptology in American schools. They kick him out from those that hate that, but he didn't stop until he died. He was bent on teaching the real truth about African culture. Of course, he's African, born in Ethiopia also. So he knew the truth. I mean, he knew the truth. And I am happy that I met such person on social media and on YouTube. So do yourself great service by doing your own research. Don't just believe what people said. Especially don't believe. I didn't say don't just. I said don't believe whatever the Bible or Quran said. Don't believe them. Anything any religious book says, especially when it concerns you as a person or as an individual, telling you about a deity or a God that created you, don't believe them. So I want to play this before I continue. Please pay attention and listen to it. Okay, it's about it's in Nandekal. Somebody share it on WhatsApp, so I have it in my camera roll and I can share it. You see, so I want you to listen. All right? Hear what he said.
I don't know if people are following. Where time started is where you come from. In the bight of Biafra itself, in the waters of the coast of Biafra land. 0 longitude, 0 latitude. In essence, where everything began. That is why they will not want you to come up. That is why we will ensure that we come up. Because what we are doing is in complete and absolute fulfillment of a prophecy and what is contained in the Holy Book. That these people will be set free. And with it, the kingdom of heaven will come down to this very earth. And this is Radio Biafra. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra across this very planet that we call Earth, the commander of all our loyal forces, and in the same vein, the director of Radio Biafra. What we do is not of man, it is of heaven. Therefore, by the very special grace of Chukwu Abiyama and nobody else, I will now, tomorrow, and ever remain a very faithful, abiding, and loyal servant of the indigenous people of Biafra till my dying day. We will not, I assure you, with everything that I can muster, we will not retreat nor surrender. Biafra will come. There is nothing else we would rather do than to set our country free from the bondage that the British consigned it to, from the iniquitous existence that was perpetuated of Yakubu Gowon, and to the acquiescence and the complacency of the leadership of our people as encapsulated in the ignominious existence of Ohanes and Igbo. We will fight all these demons and we will defeat all of them. Just watch and see. This is Radio Biafra. And from the end of this year, this year will no longer exist, as we told you before, because this year we must march. This year we must march with or without. We want to prove to mankind that there is Chukwu Abiyama in heaven. That is the only purpose for which Biafra will serve. To convince the whole world that Chukwu Abiyama exists and that he is God. This is Radio Biafra. We must continue. Our work is ceaseless. Our work is endless. Our work is long-lasting. It is enduring. Our work is here to fulfill a divine mission, and that very divine mission is the restoration in absolute and uncompromising manner the sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, founded on truth and honesty. On truth and honesty, because without truth and honesty, Biafra will not come. Other people tried in the past. Ask them, did Biafra come? The answer is a capital no. Biafra did not come because their hands were not clean enough. And because the time, all of us, our hands were not clean. We are talking about worshipping white gods was prevalent in our land. We went and were basically sometimes sacrificing human beings to some pathetic, wretched, non-existent deity. Oftentimes, our people avoided what they were meant to do and started to indulge in a level of wickedness never before witnessed in the history of our people by labeling some people as outcasts, something that is abominable and reprehensible before the sight of heaven and this very earth. The whole Osu and the caste system, the work of devil and Lucifer. All this nonsense, how do you expect to be free when you have not set other people free? You yourself, you want to be free. You could have looked at us and said, you people are not serious. When you're serious, we will know that now we are serious. That is why we confess our sins to the hearing of the whole world, that we will not leave any stone unturned in the pursuit of absolute and total freedom. Not half and half. Freedom for everybody. Everybody must be free. When I mean free, I mean freedom from everything iniquitous, everything that is evil, every discrimination. You cannot say, oh, because somebody comes from Oron, because of that they cannot get a job at Enugu. You must be insane. If somebody is qualified anywhere, there will be no English. If you're a Biafran, you are a Biafran citizen. You can stay anywhere you like forever and ever. It doesn't really matter. Because mind you, every child will receive the same level of education. It doesn't matter where they are. Every child will be a ward of the state, which means from kindergarten to university, it will be pure, free, quality education. If we don't have money even to eat indomie, we will spend money on education. Very, very important. We will not play with our children. Never, ever, ever. They will be taken care of. Very much so. Because the nonsense we endured in the zoo, we cannot afford to replicate in God's own kingdom. This is Radio Biafra. Once the barrister...
Okay. Now, some of you that listen, or you can still go back and listen to it, so you can dissect it yourself. You can make your own contribution of what he said. Like I said, everything he talk about, we getting the Biafra by fighting for our freedom. I support that. All right, but he is wrong in many things he said, especially when he's talking about Chukwu Okike Abiama being God, accusing his our ancestors of failure of bringing Biafra because all their hands were not clean. Is not true. We had Biafra before the war. War came, that's when we lost. So Biafra was a nation recognized by some countries in Africa before even Haiti supported Biafra or recognized Biafra. And also when they talk about case system, Osu case system, he say it's a voting or abominable thing before the heavens, before God. It's not true. How can you be against case system when you believe in the God of Israel? The God that chose one people and called other people unclean or uncircumcised people, call other people Gentiles. And you was talking about case system, that's a problem. Listen, Africans, there is no way you can compare the evil of the white man with the nonsense you believe your ancestors did. You have to think. You're supposed to know the genesis of all things. If your ancestors were evil, as they said, the white men would have not succeeded in invading and enslaving them. Your ancestors see people as people. They never see people as animals. They never go invading other people's land. If you want black people to be like white people, of course, black people will begin to invade other people's land, taking their stuff and killing them. But black people, it's not in black people, even in America here. Even you that is a black person, you see how many times you have that, you keep calm. Because you know it is not even in you to kill. How many of you have gone to retaliate the killing of your maybe loved one or something like that? You have not done that. Okay, see how they are killing people in South Africa. Did Nigeria start killing people like that in Nigeria? They were only burning business places and all that. You're supposed to know who taught you all that evil you are accusing your ancestors. You don't know your true ancestors. You are talking about your colonized ancestors. The people, the white people paid to kill your good ancestors. Then they put people that were doing their biddings to even sacrificing their fellow human beings. Remember, I made that video when I was going to work. The purpose of foreign institutions, it is to destroy African foundation, African cultural heritage. That is the purpose. That's why you can see Africans today, somebody that claimed to be an Igwe in Igbo land, somebody that claimed to be an Eda in Igbo land, we break collar and still say in Jesus' name. And you say that person is traditional. I have met native doctor in my own village that believe in Jesus, believe in the Bible. And you see Nnamdi Kanu calling Bible the holy book. He's fulfilling the prophecy in the book that the people will be free. The African Americans are saying the same thing. The people that call themselves Israelites or the Jewish people in Jamaica, they're saying the same thing. So why they brought this nonsense to divide you people? It's to divide us. As I said, we have to restore our power force. There is no power in the Bible. There's no power in Elohim. There's no power in Jehovah. There's no power in Jesus. There's no power in Allah. There's no power in Yahweh that will give Africans freedom. Those names, those things that were designed to keep you hating yourself and killing yourselves, they cannot give you freedom. Pray all you want in their name. They will never give you freedom. Come on, wake up, African. Tell me one thing you are accusing our ancestors of wrongdoing, and I will show you hundreds of them and among white people, and you never hear them say that it's hindering their progress. It's only Africans, because Africans have decided to be believers instead of knowers. It is easier to believe than to know. You know what you will go through to know. I know what I went through to know what I know today. How many of you in Nigeria have even the sufficient data to do research? But it's easy to believe. Okay, what do you say? What do you say you find out? Okay, I believe you. No! Do your own research. It is easier to believe than to know. That's why many people choose to believe and ignore the truth, ignore the facts. They tell you, forget, nobody knows, everybody must know. You know, nobody must know it all. Shut up. You can know it all if you dare to know it all. You cannot know it all if you don't dare to know it all. Simple. Garbage in, garbage out is what you put in your computer. That's what it will give you back. You want to know? Go after it. You will know. Look at what he said. Telling me about our people we are doing something that is never heard in the history of our people. And you are talking about, tell me the history of our people. A great people, a good people, a generous people. People that were so hospitable that they entertained the wrong strangers. The strangers that turned them into the meal they ate. And there is no way you can compare our ancestors with, you know, the white people you're expecting to give you freedom. If there is Chukwuokike Abiama, who can Nnamdi Kanu say is God in heaven, and they want to use Biafra to show people that there's God in heaven, that's crazy talk. White people already tell you there is God in heaven. What are you saying? They gave you Christianity, they gave you Judaism, they gave you Islam. What God are you talking about again that they have not given to you? And you are quoting from the book they gave to you. You thinking you will give them a God better than the one they already gave to you. The Chukwuokike Abiama you are talking about is white men that gave you that concept. Our people, not all our ancestors believe in one supreme being. It was an Egyptian pharaoh that said, okay, now there are gods and goddesses, but now there is one God above them. His name is Ammon or Amen. When you pray and say Amen, every religion do that. They are following that Egyptian myth established by that emperor, Akhenaten. It has nothing to do with there is no deity that exists. A deity is a human being gone wrong. I say, I love this man, Ben. The man on my profile picture. Ben, he said that. He said a deity is a human being gone wrong. There is no deity above you. You are the living deity. Your ancestors were deities also. And you believe they were worshiping white gods. Your ancestors? No. Your ancestors didn't know what is called white people until white people invaded. And they taught them those nonsense. But you don't know. All you know is the colonized history of Africa. They taught you from elementary school or even from kindergarten to university level. And you become masters in it. You become professors. Now you can come and say, you don't know our Africa. How many of us have traveled to Egypt to see the exploit our ancestors? How many of us? But we just read the Bible. Bible said the people of Israel was in Egypt. Okay, yeah, you believe. And you're wrong with it. Did you hear what he said about our ancestors? If there is Chukwu Okike Abiama that can give us freedom, then you don't need the UK. You don't need them. You don't need the United Nations. Why are you going for United? What? You don't need gun. You don't need any weapon. If there is Chukwu Okike Abiama, a supreme being that can give you freedom, you say, oh, he's waiting for you to have clean hand. You think you yourself, you have clean hand more than your ancestors? Your ancestors have the cleanest, the purest hand in the whole earth. That's why they entertained this. They taught white men. They did not kill white men. They clothed white men. They washed white men when white men were stinking. Our ancestors bathed them, taught them how to take baths. We don't know all that. Some years ago, I didn't know this. Use your YouTube, use Google, search about your ancestors. Read both the one they speak against our ancestors and the one that at least the blood in you will begin to tell you the truth. You don't need any Holy Spirit. You don't need any other person to tell you the truth. Your blood, if you are a true African, when you read the truth about your ancestors, your blood will tell you. Your ancestors, they are in your blood. They will tell you, yes, this is us. This is what we actually did. Wake up, my people, and stop believing the lies people are saying and hoping that one supreme being will come and help us. No supreme being is coming to help us. Tell me the sins of our fathers. If you check, I made that video before. The sins of our fathers is being hostile. That's hostility. That was the sin, the main sin of our fathers. They were too nice to strangers. They did not demand for visas. They did not demand for passports. They did not demand for fee. For you want to live in our land, you have to pay. You have to. They did not demand that. They said all of us are the same. None of us have two hairs. We have. If you are a man, you are a man. We are the same. Woman, we are the same. Just you are welcome. They weren't building boundaries until the invaders came. And you see our educated people like Nnamdi Kanu still messing with that religion. You have to trust that if we must have our Biafra, we must restore our African power. We had that power. Do you know what it took the white men to defeat Benin Kingdom? Did you know the history of Benin Kingdom? Do you know about the war they fought with white people? White people would have not defeated our ancestors if not for the sellout, the one they forced and made them to kill their own brothers. And they installed them as our ancestors didn't have king over them. The elders are the rulers. King is the head of the warriors. And going war for what? To protect the land. You can't take their land. You can't come and kill somebody. You come and kill somebody. They kidnap somebody from your land and tell you what you must do. When you do that, they let the person go. Our ancestors weren't building prisons. And you are talking about evil? How many innocent people are languishing and dying in prisons today? And you are talking about the sins of our ancestors. You are confessing the sins of our sins to the world. Have you seen English people confessing their own sins to the world? Africans, you keep doing things thinking it will bring you good fortune. It is not. You have to fight to get you that thing you call your good fortune. I've said that. I am old now. Young generation, you younger people, it is time you fortify. If you don't fortify yourself, all your grammar is useless. All your fighting for freedom is useless. You need to restore that African power. Yes, our ancestors said that. Until you restore that power, the power that can say to the sun, stand still. God cannot do that. It is you that can do that. It is our natural power. It has nothing to do with any Elohim, with any Jehovah, with any Yahweh, with any Allah, with any deity in heaven or anywhere. There is no God in heaven. If there is, show me. I get upset when I see my own people talking trash about our ancestors. Why you are there? When you cannot even make your own weapon in this modern world and you are still talking about your ancestors, despite your level of education and exposure, make your own weapon. Bring your own challenge the world. Let us see. You have not done that. And you are running to them for them to grant you freedom. If there is Chukwu Okike Abiama, let me ask you, if Chukwu Okike Abiama give Biafrans freedom today, will UN approve it? You need UN approval for you to have Biafra nation? Come on, let us wake up, man. Let us talk real and stop doing all this nonsense our people are doing. He said, please do your thing. Don't mention Nnamdi Kanu. Shut up, man. Why not? Nnamdi Kanu is my brother. And the Biafra is my nation. Why not? Why wouldn't I mention him? Why not tell him to stop mentioning Chukwu Okike Abiama? Who is Chukwu Okike Abiama? What has Chukwu Okike Abiama done for your people? Where was Chukwu Okike Abiama during invasion, during slavery, during colonialism? Where was Chukwu Okike Abiama? Chukwu Okike Abiama is not different from Jehovah. It's not different from Allah. It's not different from Yahweh. It's not different from Jesus. It's not different from all those useless gods that cannot help you in your time of need. Come on, wake up, man. That you are Biafran doesn't mean you know, whatever you say, I will swallow. That's crap. I don't care whoever it is. If you are on the wrong, I will tell you you are on the wrong. If we are talking about Biafra, talk about Biafra. Don't, if you are calling about Chukwu, or calling on Chukwu Okike Abiama, when you are talking Biafra stuff, you are talking shit. Which is, you want to talk about Biafra? Let's talk about Biafra. Forget God, forget Chukwu Okike Abiama. Let us be real to ourselves. From the beginning, I've been saying that if we want to have Biafra, let us use our brain and our resources. You have to settle the world powers. If not, they will not allow you. Chukwu Okike Abiama give you Biafra, they make it hell. Even more hellish than Nigeria. More hellish than the present day Africa. You see what happened in Sudan, right? Of course. They know how to plant opposition. They destabilize your country. And you see those people that are crying Biafra, and they say, well, because you have to be smart. Igbo people, Biafran people, you are smarter than what you are now. Wake up. You have to fortify yourself first. The only language white man will hear from you is that African power. Without African power, you remain their slaves. The sins of our father. Do you know that term, the sins of our fathers, is derived from the biblical references? Primarily in the books of Exodus, Deuteronomy, and Numbers. To the sins or iniquities of our generation, passing to one, from one generation, passing to another generation. And we believe that because that's what they taught us. Oh, the sins of your father follow you. When will the sins of white men, well, their fathers follow them? Their sins, the sins of their father is not following them. It's only black people that the sins of their father is following. You are not making it. It's the sin of your father. You don't have freedom. It's not. Go and fight. USSR split. The sins of their father did not stop those ones that have independence from having independence. They get freed from there. You telling me that people that are having their independence all over the world is because their hands are clean, but because you don't have your own now, your hands is not clean. Come on, wake up, my people, and stop being naive. Stop being this religious. It drives somebody like me crazy when I hear Africans still talking about one deity or the other. Which deity are you talking about? The deity you should be talking about is your ancestors. They are the real deities, just as you are a deity. If you're a man, you are God. If you're a woman, you are goddess. We are deities. Why are you deity? Don't worship any other deity. They coexist. But you still believe in that Chukwu Kabiam or Jehovah or Yahweh or Allah. You call that stupid, that useless God that is a jealous God. And you're accusing your people of like killing of twins. But white people were using children as crocodile bait. They were killing women as witches. Your husband asks you for sex, you say, oh, I'm not in the mood. You're a witch. You just report, the priest will come. Esparinto, they kill you, come. Have you searched to know about Inquisition? The atrocity they committed, they even did it in Africa. What happened in Congo? Where they will cut the hand of a child because his father did. Oh man, you people supposed to read the true history of Africa and stop following all this nonsense that white men want us to continue. I love white people. All white people are not wicked, but the wicked ones are the ones in power. The nice ones are minority. They are nothing. They're not going to, because they don't have mind to hurt. Just like when you are a nice person, you can never be rich in this world. Show me one nice person that is rich. I tell you, that person is lying. There is none. Because this world, wicked people has taken over. And you say there is God running or controlling the world, while wicked people are running things. You're talking about the sins of our fathers, right? Let me show you where you get it. All of you that is talking about the sins of your African ancestors, you get it from the Bible. Here, this is what you call the Word of God. Let me start with Deuteronomy chapter 5. We must destroy religion. Religions, they are Arabic and European mindset that many Africans have and is keeping them in bondage. Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 9. Hear what they said this God said. He said, you shall not bow down to them nor serve them. For I the Lord your God, am a jealous God. Hear this wicked God. He said, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. A God who created those who hate him. Is that God? A God who visits the iniquity of the fathers upon their children. Is that God? And you say, no, God loved me. He sent his son. That's Old Testament. The God of Old Testament is the God of New Testament. And if you believe in the God of Old Testament and tell me he changed, why he saying he does not change? That means you have been brainwashed. You are suffering hallucination, delusion. You are suffering confusion. You are suffering, you are suffering mental. You are having mental problem. You have to wake up. What this? That's where you get it. They say, "Oh, I don't want God to punish." Okay, I forgot. I confess the sins of my fathers, unknown and known. Nonsense. You are not a sinner. You are not committing any sin. It's religion that is committing whatever sin, and you are claiming it. And you're thinking that's the why you are not making it. Learn from Chinese people, learn from Japanese people, and wake up, Africans. Talking about the sins of, why can't you talk about the exploits of your fathers? Talk about the exploits of your mothers. Talk about the exploits of your ancestors. They did not teach you about the queens in Africa that did great job. Many African women that did exploit, even fought in war to liberate their people. They will not teach you that. But you come and be talking nonsense about what you read in Torah or in the Bible or Quran. and using it to make your people sin as sinful people that need what? Africans, we are the one that we free ourselves. Slave master will never teach you anything to free yourself. You are the one that will take it into your own hand to free yourself. Break the door of that prison and scale the fence and return to your home and build your home. You need to restore that power, Africans. Exodus chapter 20. Oh man, come on, wake up, Africans. Exodus chapter 20, verse 5. Hear what he says. He said, you shall not bow, is the sentence, repeating the sentence, shall not bow down to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation to those who hate me, of those who hate me. Then chapter 34, verse 7, I think, saying the same thing. You see, that's is full. When you read Bible, as you are reading it and you believe the Bible is word of God, it's registering inside you. And when you finish reading them, when you think about your ancestors, yeah, the sins of my fathers is visiting me. That's why I'm not succeeding. That's why I'm not progressing. Oh God, have mercy on me. Heavenly power from my ancestors, I bind you. That's nonsense. Wake up, Africans. Deuteronomy chapter 34, verse 7. It says the same thing. There is a keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sin, by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and the children's children to the third and fourth generation. I've read it 3 times, but Jesus quoted, he said that every truth or every law must be confirmed by what? Must be what? Confirmed by what? 2 or 3 witnesses. How many places I've read for you already? Numbers chapter 14. That is the genesis of your belief against your ancestors. The Bible, Torah, Quran. You modern Africans, this is your problem. The book they gave to you, the book religions is your problem. The day you trust those books and begin to go for your African power, you will see yourself returning to your roots. And no book is greater than your root. Remember, books were made from the branches or from the branches, right? You are of the root. Numbers chapter 14. Come on, wake up, my people. Verse 18. Numbers 14, 18. He said, the Lord is long-suffering and abundant in mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression. Hear what he said. But, you see, God that is so long-suffering and abundant in mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression. But whenever any person tell you he's speaking the truth, and that person add but, there is a lie. Half truth is a lie. Truth has no but to it. Truth is straightforward. No but. If God is long-suffering and abundant in mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, that's how it's supposed to be. Don't add any other thing. But he said, but he by no means clears the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generation. How many times have I read it? Jesus said 2 or 3 witnesses, but I've given you 4. I've given you 1, 2, 3, 4. Deuteronomy 5:9, Exodus 25, Exodus 34:7, and Numbers 14:18. They're talking about the sins of your fathers. Isaiah 14:21. Let's see about the sins of our ancestors. Isaiah 14. You remember Isaiah 14, that's where you see Lucifer. And you see Nnamdi calling like a case system of Lucifer. But you don't know that Jesus is Lucifer, bright and morning star. That's what Lucifer stands for. Lucifer is not evil. Okay? That's why I'm proud to say I am Lucifer, as Christians call me, because I'm telling them God and Jesus never existed. They say I'm Lucifer. Yes, I am. I am a light bearer. I bring light, as I'm doing right now. 14:21, Isaiah 14:21. Isaiah 14:21. Hear what he said. Prepare slaughter for his children because of the iniquity of their fathers, lest they rise up and possess the land and fill the face of the world with cities. Do you read do you understand what I just read? The sins of your fathers, right? He said, because of the iniquity of their fathers, prepare slaughter for his children. Let me read the King James Version and see what King James said. Oh, yeah. The sentence said, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. That's exactly what they don't want Africans to do. They don't want Africans to rise again. So they keep telling them, no, the sins of your fathers, the sins of your ancestors. And you see Africans accepting it. Yeah, the sins of my ancestors. As Nnamdi Kanu said, okay, we confess our sin before the war. Have you seen any other race doing that nonsense? Have you seen the Chinese people saying they're confessing the sins of their father or their sins before the war? Have you seen Chinese people do that? Have you seen Europeans do that? Black people keep thinking their faith and the hope will bring their freedom. Faith and hope will never give you freedom. Reality is what will give you freedom. Face reality. Tell yourself the truth. Know your truth. Africans don't know their truth. The modern day Africans. It's only the few. And they kill you when you begin to tell them that truth. They kill you for African truth. The truth they want you to tell them is the Bible. One stupid woman that called herself Archbishop Gloria, she said, I've told this guy to block me. He used to preach the gospel on Facebook. I used to preach the gospel because I was stupid. I was useless like you. I was believing the lies forced on my ancestors, indoctrinated my parents with, and my parents indoctrinated me with. I was preaching that ghost spell, and they call it gospel. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities as they did in the past. When you know how this Bible was written and given to you, when you read it, you will see Africa in it. Everywhere they say, kill them, don't let them rise, they're talking about Africans. They don't want you to rise again and fill the world with cities as your ancestors did. They don't want you to possess the land again. They shared your land and named them. And you say, yeah, I am from Nigeria. I am from Liberia. I am from Ghana. I am from this. Nonsense. They divided us and planted hatred, planted division among us. And you call them, I am a graduate. I graduated from this university. For what? To keep struggling. Remain slave. A graduate is a graduated slave. That's what you are. Dangote is the richest man in Africa. Okay. Richest slave in Africa. He cannot even have good hospital to treat himself in Africa. Have you seen any African leader that is not traveling abroad? Where did Robert Mugabe die? Did he die in Zimbabwe? The president of Nigeria, the fake president of Nigeria now, you see his treatment. Why are they going abroad to treat him? And you will come, you say, hey, we could. And all those prophets going to meet him, they cannot even pray for him to be healed. He has to be flying to Europe, England to get treatment. Yes, it's with the Bible, like the portions I've read for you, that they created that same conscience in Africa. And that is the major problem among the present day Africans. Same conscience. That's what they have, same conscience. If things are not working as I want, it's because of sin. Sin of my fathers that passed down to me. Why people don't have any sin of their father passed down to to them is always the blessings of their father, the greatness of their fathers, the exploits of their fathers. That's what is passed down to them, and they keep improving themselves. Africans keep, immersing themselves in the ocean of religion, in the ocean of white supremacy, and thinking they will have freedom. White people know the day you have freedom, they are done, and they will never allow you to have it. But they don't know us. They don't know that we have good mind, that when we have our freedom, we will not treat them the way they treated us, but we will put now. Listen, no more. You are no longer welcome as our ancestors did. We are not smarter because we are one with our ancestors. You see why the Africans are blaming the sins of their fathers for their sufferings and shortcomings in this present war. No one else does that in the whole world but Africans. If there is God Almighty, called or known as Chukwuokike Abiama, invasion, slavery, and colonialism would have not happened. Africans, like Biafrans, won't need UK or UN for their freedom or independence. They won't need that. The spirit being that cannot give you freedom is useless to you. A spirit being that will give you freedom that UN will approve is useless to you. It cannot give you freedom. Just as it cannot give you your daily bread. And you keep praying, give us this day our daily bread. It can't give it to you. Then you get up, dress up, and go to work and earn that daily bread. You work for it. God cannot give you even daily bread, but you believe He will give you freedom. He cannot. Chukwuokike Abiama has not given anyone in Biafra land a daily bread. We work for it because we live in a rich land. Wake up, African. You wrongly accuse your ancestors of human sacrifice, yet you believe in John 3:16. He said, for God so loved the world, He killed His own Son, that whoever believes in Him will not perish, but have everlasting life. That's nonsense. A God that is able to save all the people that believe in Him, but He cannot save, He has to kill His Son. That's God is useless. How can you accuse your ancestors of human sacrifice when you believe in hellfire? A God that will roast His children in hellfire, alive for not believing. How can you Africans accuse your ancestors of human sacrifice? Even when you have the Bible, haven't you read the story of Jephthah? He had only daughter. Jephthah was like me. I have my daughter. She is my only child. And you telling me I will sacrifice my daughter for what? Earlier on, I was discussing with my daughter about her college, what she will study. I said, listen, you are not competing with anyone. It is not about money. I'm talking about you having a life. Make your decision. What do you want to do? What do you want to study? If you tell yourself the truth, choose what you know you can do. I didn't say choose what you believe you can do. Don't tell me this is what people say is working. No, you. What do you want? And if don't go waste your time and money and end up to something else you would have gotten without going to college. And you telling me that a God that accepted the sacrifice of a man's only daughter is your God. The Saint Chukwuokike Abiama in the book Nnamdi Kanu called Holy Book, he accepted human sacrifice, a dancer, a virgin girl. That God loved virgin. No wonder He gets Virgin Mary pregnant. A virgin girl. Your God accepted a virgin girl as a sacrifice. And you are talking about your ancestors sacrificing human beings. You don't know the truth. You don't know the true history of Africans. If there was any sacrifice among our ancestors, it was done with goats and the chicken, not with a human being. Our ancestors so much love life. We name ourselves Ndo, But you see, life is praying. Life is the most important thing. Life is praying. That's what our ancestors named them. Named their children. Ndokako. Life is greater than wealth. And yet you believe the lie that your ancestors were killing twins, were sacrificing human beings. Yet you believe in God that sacrificing son, accepted another man's daughter as a sacrifice. Come on, wake up, Africa. Wake up, Africa. How can you accuse your ancestors so much and still expect to do well? You cannot curse your ancestors and they'll be well with you. You have to learn to bless your ancestors. Begin to erase all those negative thoughts, all negative ideas about your ancestors and replace them with the positive one. Yes, I have done that. Anytime anybody talk about my ancestors, my antenna went so high. I want to hear you, and when I hear you, you talk negative thing, I will bomb you with what will shut you. I don't care where I am. Even at work, you fire me, I don't care. Look at me, I'm still strong. I go and find another job. Because some of you think I'm just talking on Facebook. Hey, no, I'm not that coward like you. When I travel to my place, the same thing. Wherever I am, you mention God, I ask you, what are you talking about? That God is useless. Oh, no, don't talk about it. Why not? When you mention it, I must talk about that. Okwana Asanya Anahebibo, we must deal with the whole issue and stop living as slaves. You accuse your ancestors of idolatry. Nandekali say idols, Arose. What is Arose? What is wrong with Arose? You must know first what is Arose before you condemn it. You condemn Arose while you are worshiping imaginary God, invisible God. You call Chukwokika, you call Yahweh, you call Jehovah, you call Allah, you call Jesus. Have you seen them? Your ancestors had Arose. They came together and established it. They put their spirit, they put their force. Don't you know your ancestors believe in the power of spoken words? They bring a tree on an object, they speak into it and say, go, and they go and do something. We need to restore that power. Your ancestors weren't using their power to kill one another as you are using them today to shoot pin and killing innocent, even children. You have an issue with a man, you begin to shoot pin into his children's life. You begin to kill his children. You accuse your ancestors of worshiping idols while you are worshiping God you have not seen. Don't you see you are worse? Whatever you accuse your ancestors of, you are worse in doing that. And your ancestors are not guilty. You are the guilty one. And that's why you are in the condition you are today. You have to get up. Stop confessing imaginary sins you believe existed. Stop confessing that nonsense you learn from Bible, from religion. You were brought up in religion. Come on. Nnamdi Kanu was brought up in religion just as myself. We have to destroy that religion. Let us talk about us. Talk about Africans. Talk about Biafra. Of course, I will lend you my ears and I will support you. White people who invaded, stole, killed, destroy your ancestors and establish their institutions in your land are okay and living better than you. You keep blaming the sins of your fathers. You keep blaming your ancestors. White people have not even teach you to acknowledge your foremothers. Your mothers who were goddesses, because they know our ancestors acknowledge their gods and goddesses. That's their parents, their ancestors. But they tell you, no, there is one God. Other gods are fake. Other goddesses are fake. Out of fear, you called the nonsense they taught you in the Bible, the nonsense they taught you against your ancestors, the nonsense they taught you in Quran, the nonsense they taught you against your ancestors, the nonsense they taught you in Torah, the nonsense they taught you against your ancestors, you call it the will of God. And that's why it is called faith. Faith is fake. Faith is accepting things even when it is obvious it's wrong against you as the will of God. Trash faith. Put facts over faith. Faith is worst thing you will ever have in your life. When you have faith, you begin to live fake life. You think fake thing. You cannot think like a human being. That's when you will believe you're an animal. They call you sheep. You say, yes, I am. They say you must be born again. It's okay. I'm born again. I believe. They call you for sin. Oh, for altar call. You come out. I confess my sin, knowingly or unknowingly, the sins of my fathers. Forgive me. I am cleansed. I am covered with the blood. No, that was nonsense. Wake up, my people, and begin to use your brain. Stop following the tone that the slave masters are still beating for us. You have to break free and live free. There's no such thing as the sins of our ancestors. There is the exploits of our ancestors. Begin to research for them. Start with Egypt. Then begin to go to Nubia, begin to go to Sudan, begin to go to Mali, begin to go to Ghana, begin to go to Ethiopia, begin to go to places our ancestors really had cities. When you read Genesis chapter 11, the Tower of Babel is talking about your ancestors building cities and high towers, and these wicked people came and they confused our ancestors, scatter our ancestors. That now you migrated somewhere, you think that's where you began. Know your origin and know your true history. Thank you for listening and thank you for sharing. Peace.